Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and I have a special video guest today in my Rants and Raves podcast, videocast, David Naranjo. David is the business line manager for the commercial displays for, obviously, ViewSonic. David, how are you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself, Gary?
Doing well. We're here to talk primarily about your all-in-one LED. And a lot of companies have all-in-one LEDs now, but you have a little bit more built into your all-in-one LED than most companies. You have a 135-inch and 163-inch. Talk about the pixel pitch of each, and then we'll talk about some of the features.
Of course. The 135 inches a 1.5-millimeter pixel pitch, and the 163 is the 1.8-millimeter pixel pitch.
Yeah, and so they're using, this is LED technology, so it's going to have a life. What are you specking the life of this for? How many hours? Or do you have an hour spec for that yet?
Well, this can operate 24/7. I don't have an hour spec at this point, but it's a pretty robust product, and really, it's one of the great benefits of it is total cost of ownership is very low, because even if a module goes out, you can hot swap without really taking anything down from the wall itself. Everything is hot swappable on a module.
Yeah, and you don't have to replace any lamps like you do with the older projection technology. And of course, the black levels, with direct view are going to be higher. But you also have a couple of things built into this display. It's very much like a flat panel display, and you just connect an HDMI cable to it and drive it just like you would a flat panel. But it also has wireless connectivity as well. What is that wireless connectivity compatible with? Like, can you walk up with any laptop and connect to it, or do you have to download an app, or how does that work?
No, it's a foreign software. We also have what's called the ViewSonic embedded Signage platform, and that is really one of the key things about this platform, as opposed to video wall and other products of separate external devices, such as media players, and have external software, signage. Everything is self-contained in the unit, and that's why it really is an all-in-one product, because there's really nothing to do externally to the product. So when you install it, there's no cables outside the AC cable that's plugged into the wall that is visible to anything. It's a pretty and seamless solution.
Yeah, so it's got an embedded signage player platform built into it, system on a chip system, if you're familiar with that from the signage market. As far as colorimetry goes, you're hitting 120% of Rec 709. You have a 3,800 hertz refresh rate, and obviously it's just like any display, able to be controlled from any of the third-party control platforms. Does it have CEC as well? Like if you connect the source to it, does it just turn itself on as well? So it's as simple to use as, just basically plugging in a source and turn the thing on?
Yeah, so same HDMI with CEC is part and parcel of the product.
Okay, and then, so you have 135-inch, 163-inch, 1.5 millimeter, and what was the other one?
1.8.
1.8, so 163 is 1.8, 135 is 1.5 millimeter. So obviously you see these going into meeting rooms, conference rooms, classrooms, I guess, replacing, other display platforms, giving you larger, the LCDs, the largest I think anyone has out there is about 100 inches. This allows you to go way bigger than that. So you see it going in there. But what about portable applications? Let's say you're a school and you need it for an auditorium, but you also want to have it as a mobile product. Do you have the ability to put it on a cart and wheel it around like that?
Absolutely. We actually have a mobile cart that will allow you to wheel around the 135 or the 163. So the same installation, timing, and all the benefits associated with putting on the wall, you also have it on a mobile cart.
And I think the business application for this in boardrooms, conference rooms, meeting rooms, even retail are kind of obvious because retail signage. But in education, do you see this as something in a classroom that ultimately people are going to start using rather than maybe a projector or large flat panel display? Or do you see this mostly used for signage applications in a school?
What we've seen so far, at least in the educational space, it's primarily being used in large auditoriums, in areas where the students would actually congregate. In their classroom, we have other products such as our commercial displays that go up to 98-inch or interactive flat panels that people use. in the classroom itself. Those two types of products are what we see the most common because small enough, but they're still large enough to be effective for the classroom environment. Right now, we haven't seen any people look to DirectV as a classroom type of product.
Yeah, and I think the other advantage of the other products you mentioned is you have more collaboration capabilities in a classroom for that kind of a product. So, and I tend to agree with you, at least in this generation of product. But you have an embedded, the VESP is the embedded signage system. Tell me what the benefits of that are over using, like, well, first off, is it compatible with all the CMSs that are out there? Or do you have your own built-in CMS? How does that work? And what's the advantage of your system over using an external media player, for example?
Well, it's within Signage Player, and we support most of the common ones like rAVe Digital and other NoviSign type of digital signage software. The benefit is simply a cleaner solution. So you have less that could potentially not operate properly when it's connected. It just looks cleaner when it's all self-contained in the unit. So less cabling, less external management of devices, and also less installation time. The product itself, we've seen that you can install it easily within 2 hours with 2 people. We've done this time and time again. So it's very fast time to installation, low maintenance because it's hot swappable, and it's a much cleaner solution and TCO involved.
Yeah, and the form factor obviously is 16:9 native HD 1920 by 1080. Let me go back to the wireless sharing for just a second. When I had a quick question about that. When you're doing the wireless sharing capabilities, how many people can share to it at one time, and what does it look like? Is it a 2x2, or how many people can show their content at one time?
So it's primarily 2x2, where you can wirelessly share multiple screens.
And how many people can be connected to it, though? I assume more people could be connected. When the 5th person comes in, the first person drops out. Okay.
It's one to many type of connection in terms of who can actually connect to the display at any given time.
And you don't need a piece of hardware to do that. You could literally do that wirelessly using the standard wireless platforms that are out there. Okay. Correct. And then you said it takes 2 people, maybe a couple hours to set the thing up. What about calibrating it, and what kind of maintenance is required for something like this?
The wonderful thing about this product, since it is all self-contained, it's all the modules, everything's already been pre-calibrated. So once you put the 100 modules, in the case of 135-inch, up and turn the product on, everything is already calibrated. If there's a module that has to be upside down, you can easily remove that module with our suction tool, turn it the right way, and put it back in. It's all hot swappable. And if a module happens to go bad, you can also do the same thing. In every product, we include 2 spare LED modules. So you can actually do this at any given time to replace any modules that may be going bad. And it's all hot swappable.
This is an excellent review. So I'll put a link in the description of this video cast so you can learn more about the product. Again, there's 135-inch and 163-inch, 1.5-millimeter, 1.8-millimeter. Did I get that right again? And
yes. Built-in
signage player known as VESP, ViewSonic embedded signage platform. It's 120% of Rec 709 colorimetry, 3800 hertz refresh rate. And they're both available now?
Yes, they're both available now.
Yeah, it's going to be a great product. Congratulations. ViewSonic has been a powerhouse display manufacturer for many years. It's going to be a very popular product. The market is obviously accepting LED with open arms and welcoming new LED products, and this form factor of all-in-one is going to be very popular. David, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure, Gary. Thank you.
And click on the link to get more information. Go to ViewSonic.com. You click on the link, go directly to the product. And of course, if you want to listen or watch all of our video casts or podcasts, go to rAVepubs.com.